everyone, welcome back to my channel, Chevron Read. Today I'll be starting off a brand new reading vlog. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below as well as the notification bell. And this is a continuation of my magical readathon autumnal equinox vlog. So this is technically it is September 14th now. It's been a couple days since I last ended the last vlog, but I haven't really made too much progress in my reading, so I haven't had a reason to really start a new reading vlog because nothing really happened. But it is the weekend now and I'm hoping to get some reading done today. So today has already been a hectic day. I took my pets to the groomer because I mean Tofu's a long hair cat, and apparently you do need to take long hair cats to the groomer like every couple of months, just to kind of like maintenance, and it's very easy for them to have matting. And I have noticed that with Tofu, like even though I brush his hair, he does get like 1 or 2 mats every couple of months. So taking the groomers allows him to kind of like get rid of that, and also shaving his like back area, because sometimes when he poops it sticks to it. So I took him to the groomers, and then I took Boba too because my dad was like, you gotta treat them both the same. So I'm like, okay, whatever, even though Boba really does not need to go to the groomers, but it's fine. A little spa treatment doesn't hurt anyone. So I took them both. The groomer was like, are they both sedated? And I'm like, no, I don't sedate my cats. And she was like, because they're very chill. Apparently the dogs were barking like crazy, and they were the only 2 cat customers today, so they were just chilling, like they were just vibing. They did not care. They were just like in their own little world. Tofu especially apparently was very like dazed and just like chill, and I'm like, that is not like normal, because when I give Boba a bath, when I give Tofu a bath, he doesn't care for it, so he tries to escape, but he just mostly makes a lot of sounds, like he just yowls a lot, but like that's kind of his only thing. He doesn't really like scratch me or attack me or anything like that. He just kind of like, I want to get out of here, and then he just yowls like he's not happy, but that's like the extent of it. So anyways, I've been rambling too much. Let's talk about the book. I also do have a little unboxing after this, so look forward to that. So I'm still reading this book. I really have not made too much progress. I'm still on page 172 because I haven't been reading much this week. I've been really busy with work these days, especially because my manager is off this week, and we basically tag teamed it. Like I was off, and then as soon as I got back, he was off, and then he's off. I mean technically he comes back on Monday, but I think he's like working remote for the next week, and then he won't physically be back in the office until a week after, I think. I may be wrong. So because of that, I've just been really busy, and there's also like restructuring happening in the company, so a lot of like rumors going around, so it's just a stressful environment right now. But back to this book. I am meh about this book. My friend actually came over last night to hang out, and she saw me reading it, and she was like, apparently she also was very meh about it. So I don't know, I'm at the part right now where she is trying to uncover what happened to like what's going on with Blythe, which is her cousin. So the whole premise, like I said already, is that she goes off to the Hawthorns, and when I last checked in, she just got there, and now she is uncovering what's happening. And she was approached by Lillian, who is I guess like her aunt, I think, and she had passed away recently, and Lillian was like basically told her that she was poisoned. And so now she's trying to uncover like what's happening. She thinks that whoever poisoned Lillian is also trying to poison Blythe. So now her and this guy, his name is Silas, is trying to uncover what is going on. And my met about this part is that I'm not feeling like super emotionally connected in the characters. I also thought this was going to be like a romance between her and Death, but right now it feels more of like her having a crush on Silas, and I'm like, so where's Death? Like Death has shown up like 2 or 3 times so far in this book, and I'm like almost halfway through. So I just don't really see much in terms of that romance developing unless something fast tracks, but then again that just feels very rushed, so I don't know how I feel about that. So we'll see, but I will continue reading this today. Like that is my goal, is to read this a little bit more before I go out tonight. And then I obviously have not started any of the other books, so once I finish this book I have 3 more books I want to read, and one of them is kind of hefty, so I do want to finish it this weekend. But moving on to my quick little unboxing. Okay, so recently I was approached by Plum, I think they're called Plum Deluxe, if you can see them on here, and they reached out to me about doing some sort of like, they do a lot of like tea stuff, and so they were like, oh, you read, maybe you like to have some tea because they go really nicely together. And I was like, I agree. And so I asked them to send me some herbal tea, so let's see what's inside. So right now I just see this, and it says, welcome to Plum Deluxe loose leaf tea. It says, enjoy, Stephanie. It's a surprise because I don't know what's actually inside here. It says, welcome to Plum Deluxe, built on a love of tea and a belief that even ordinary moments should be celebrated. We deliver luxury cafe moments to your mug. Every sip offers a peaceful escape, a moment that's distinctly yours. It says, listen while you sip, relax, enjoy, and time your steeps with your curated Spotify playlist. And of course, I will be reading. So they have quite a lot of information here in terms of how to get started with loose leaf tea. Reading Nook tea latte, which is why they reached out to me. I think it's because I read, obviously, and I do go well. So the first thing I see on here is the Soul Warmer Herbal. It looks like this, and it kind of just has a bunch of this blend back here, if you guys can see it. It says rhubarb tea, apple pieces, cocoa nibs, orange peel, calendula, blue cornflowers, etc. So this looks pretty good. And it has instructions here. Steep in boiling water for 3 to 6 minutes. And then it came with this little package. Let's open this up and see. Oh, it actually comes with a strainer. Amazing. Actually, I was like, I don't know where my strainer is. So it comes with a little heart-shaped strainer, which is so cute. I definitely be drinking some of this later today if I get home early enough, but super cute. I love this. It's heart-shaped. All right, and then the other 2 tea bags they gave me are more full size, I think. So I have this one first, which is Decaf Reading Nook Tea Black. I'm glad they gave me decaf because I did tell them that I'm not the biggest like caffeinated person right now. I do drink caffeinated drinks, it's just not my go-to anymore. So this is a decaf black tea, and it has rose petals, lavender, chamomile, white cornflower, and vanilla essence. And it looks like this. And the second bag over here is a green tea caffeine. I do drink some green tea, actually. I drink that like every morning. That's like the extent of my caffeine. It says mango apricot green, and this looks really good. Like, I'm actually more excited about this one. Anyways, I'm excited. Thank you so much for sending this to me. I would definitely enjoy this as I read my book during the nights, especially now that it's still hot, but like it's getting towards the end of September and things will start to cool down a little bit, even in LA. So this is perfect for that. Good morning, everybody. It is now Monday and I have to go back to work soon, so I'm actually doing a really quick update, like 1 minute max, but I am still reading Belladonna. I'm at 204 pages right now. This book is taking me for fucking ever to finish. I even brought it yesterday to the Pink concert that I went to, which by the way was phenomenal. Like, I have never been to a concert where the singer herself did so many stunts and stuff. Like, she was literally in the air doing like aerials and back flips and just like literally just like doing her thing, and I was just like, holy shit. But I did insert some clips already, so you'll see all of that, but I was just stunned. And also, like, I forget how many like hits that she's had, and also like how old she is. Like, she's in her mid-40s, but she did not look like she's mid-40s. Like, I feel like she hasn't aged since she became like, since I remember her from like my early 20s. So it's been like at least a solid decade since I've known her and like listened to her music, and she does not look like she's aged today, so props to her. But anyways, I've been reading this book and I brought it with me because I was like, let me just read some more. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like, it is such a struggle to read it. Like, I'm still gonna finish it regardless because I'm still very intrigued by like the whole premise of it, but for some reason it's just taking me a really long time. Like, I'm hoping maybe when I get home tonight I can just like sit for like at least even half an hour to just read. and hopefully that will get me like a good amount. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, this weekend was kind of intense. I hope I can finish it soon because I have been on this one book for like a solid week and a half now. Like, it is insane. And I still have 3 more books to read, and it's already September 16th, so I only have half a month left. I did so well the first week where I read like 3 out of the 7 books, and then now I'm stuck on this middle one. So boy, do I have some updates for you guys. So first things first, I did finish reading Belladonna, but I'll talk about that after I tell you a quick little update on my life, because I just got let go. And I can't say I'm surprised, because my company, or my old company, has been financially struggling for this entire year. Every single month, every single quarter, they've been saying we're not doing a good job, our sales are hitting the numbers, etc., etc. But I was slightly surprised because I really thought that my team would not be impacted because of a couple reasons. One is that my team's already very small and they're asked to do a ton of things, and so we're always just like struggling, we're overwhelmed, we're overloaded, like all that stuff, like just complete burnouts. So I really didn't think like our team would be impacted. Not only that, but I work really closely with this coworker who's on the same team as me, and she happens to be the cousin of the COO, and she had spoken to him like just a couple of weeks ago about this, since we knew that this was coming, and he was like, oh yeah, don't worry, this won't impact any of you guys. And so that's why like we're super caught guard. Like, she was super surprised because she was like, I thought we were all fine, like 100%. And I was like, well, that goes to show you can't trust anyone, even your own family member. So yeah, and then it's not just me, it was someone else in my team. That was my news this morning, and I had called my other coworker to ask him about something, and then he was like, oh, I got laid off. And I was like, what? At that time I wasn't laid off yet, but like I suspected it was coming because I got some like secret meeting last minute. But yeah, that's my update for now. So now I'm just gonna be chilling while I apply for jobs. But like, the market is honestly really terrible. I mean, I've been saying every single time something happens like this happens, the market has always been terrible, but somehow I always end up finding something. So I'm hoping that this stays true and I can find something relatively soon. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, if anyone knows any marketing jobs, let me know, guys. Belladonna, I finished it this morning or late last night. I think I just like decided to sit there and just finish the whole thing. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it, but I did like kind of the love interest. Okay, so no, I'm like mixed feelings. I loved how the love interest was Death himself. I thought that was really unique. However, I did feel like that love development, that romance, was very awkward to me. Like, I never felt like they were like really that into each other, because it was always like oh yeah, like just like, I don't know, it's just, it didn't seem legit. It just seemed like very passing, like, oh, I kind of interested in him, but then she was like always interested in this other guy, and then something happens and then she's like, oh, actually this is the guy for me, Death is the one. And I'm just like, what? So that part I'm like not the biggest fan of. I also felt like the pacing was just like very choppy. Like, there'd be times where it'd be like super action oriented, other times it'd be so dull and so like dry and slow. So the pacing was not the greatest, but I did enjoy the overall like mystery element in terms of like finding out what truly happened and what is happening with her cousin, and then like the person behind it, because that caught me off guard. I was not interested at all. I had my theories about other people, and then when it was this person, I was kind of like, really? Like, kind of surprising. So I don't know, but that's my update, and I will just continue reading and find jobs now since I don't have a job. So I don't know, it's crazy because I feel like there's a wave that just happened again. Like, I just saw a bunch of people in the past couple of weeks get laid off, and then we knew this was coming. I just didn't expect it to hit me. But it is what it is, honestly. It's been such a hot minute since I have updated you guys at all, because I went on a little side quest and actually read Goddess of the River for my book club, and that took a lot longer than I expected to finish, and things have changed. I don't know if I mentioned this, but like my company had a restructuring last week and I was impacted. It's like 10%, so I'm unemployed now, which is more time for me to read while I job hunt and everything. But back on track. Today is the 25th, so I have just a couple days left. Let's hope I can finish the last 2 books I have on my TBR. Actually, no. Oh shit, I have 3 books left. Fuck my life. Okay, 3 books. Hopefully I can finish these 3 books soon. But this is the first one I'm going to tackle. It's called A Dress for the Wicked, and it's basically a book that I got like years and years ago from Parina. Like I met her from Book Expo or BookCon, like back in New York City, and I have not seen her since then because she actually lives in Ireland. I tried reaching out to see if she would be available like when I was in Ireland, but she was not free. Also, it was very last minute, so I get that. So yeah, I will read this. Wait, where's my phone? Okay, so this is for the O for Elemental Studies, and that is Gust of Longing. Read a book of a favorite scent in the title, the cover, or the author's name. And I love the scent of autumn, like fall especially, so like pumpkin spice, just like that crisp cold air kind of situation I love, so that's why I went with autumn. So the author's name is Autumn Cross. I think I pronounced her last name correctly, so that is why I picked this book. But yeah, I'm excited and we'll see how this goes. It's been like a hot minute since I have updated you guys in terms of my reading for this book, which is Dress for the Wicked. I'm now on page 204, so I'm about a little over halfway. I'm actually really enjoying this book. It essentially follows a girl who joins this fashion house to be a competitor for the competition, and she originally didn't make it because she was from the countryside and she's poor, and this fashion house is very prestigious. It's favored by the crown. Everyone there is extremely like luxurious, rich, famous, all that stuff. And so every year the stylist designer, Miss Madame Jolene, she has a contest where she gets some of the most talented girls in the same class, so very rich girls, to compete and become like apprentice or something like that. This year, due to like press circumstances, she is asked to or told to hire someone not from the rich and the wealthy. So she ends up getting this girl, the main character, and reluctantly she invites her to be in the competition. But this girl, like, all she ever wants to be is a designer. Like, that's her passion. She loves fashion, she loves designing. And then now that she's in there, she's realized that not everything is as glamorous as she expected them to be, because she's forced to do a lot of press interviews and therefore now has like 0 time to do any of the competitions. And she's also being like sabotaged left and right by the other contestants or from the maids, etc. There's a lot going on. She's just trying to show that she can do what she can with all these other distractions and obstacles in her path. And so far I'm really enjoying this book. There is kind of a love interest here that I don't really understand, because she met him once and she was just captivated by his eyes, and since then she mentions his eyes every single time she sees him. And I'm like, girl, like, there has to be more to him than just his eyes. Like, what the fuck? So that's the part that I'm like not loving. I just don't think there's really a reason or a need for this element in this book. I feel like I'm more about the competition. I'm more about the other girls in the competition. I care more about the design, the fashion. I feel like if you love shows like Project Runway and things like that, you will really like this book, because it goes a lot into, you know, the fashion world. Obviously it's set in like a historical era, so it's all about like different fashions from that time period. So definitely not like modern fashion by any means, but it's like really interesting to see just how everything play out. And she just had an idea that I'm like, I really hope she goes through this idea, and I hope she also strings along this other girl, because I feel like the other girl will also be like, would love to do this, and she has like the backing to help out if needed. So I'm hoping the two of them can like pair up and be like a power duo, you know what I mean? So like that's kind of what I'm hoping for this book to be. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this book. This book is way better than I expected. I am flying through. It's also an easy read. So once I finish this book, I will immediately hop on to Sleep Like Death, and then I'm hoping I can get to The Will of the Many by the end of this month. But it is Friday and the end of the month is Monday, so I have a lot of reading to do this week. And if I just sit down and read for like, what time is it? It's like 2:30. Okay, usually I try to like job hunt at 10 to like 11, 11:30, 12, kind of depending on like how many jobs there are, and then I do it again at like 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna sit down and read until 3, and then I will do my second spurt of the day of job hunting. And usually this one is a lot shorter because there's just not that many jobs in the second half of the day. I feel like in the morning I definitely have a lot more jobs to go through. I also did a lot of like networking and reaching out to people, so we'll see how that goes. Honestly, I do think the job market this time has been a little bit more sparse. I mean, I feel like I've been saying that all the time, but I swear, like when I last job hunted like more than a year ago, I mean, I checked my like calendar, because I obviously keep very like methodical like, you know, stuff on my calendar and stuff, and I was having interviews like the week that I got let go. So I don't know if like, I mean, I also feel like I had started looking prior to that, so that's why, but I had like consistently like interviews. I think there was like 1 week where I didn't have interviews, but I think that was a week I was traveling. Like I was going to a wedding in Boston, so I didn't really have a lot of interviews. I think I had interview like maybe the last day or something that I was there, but for the most part I was just job hunting while I was on vacation, and then doing that, because I wasn't even like a person I know, I was like the +1. So I don't know, like it's really weird how this time, like, I mean, when I first got let go that week I had like a ton of interview requests, and then since then I haven't heard from any companies about doing interviews, and I'm like, that's really weird, because I have been technically looking for jobs like before I got let go, like the month prior. So that's why like all those jobs came in were from like the couple weeks prior of like work of me just applying for jobs. So it's a little weird that suddenly I'm not hearing back from anyone. The interviews I have done, I haven't heard back yet. Like the one from last week, they said that they were going to, they even asked me for my availability for this week so I can do a second round. Never heard back from them in terms of actually doing the second round, and I'm like, okay. Then the other two companies, one of them was like, for sure end of this week, like Friday, like I'll get you a response by then. Haven't heard from her. The other one I'm less concerned, because she did say that the VP travels a lot, so she was aiming for end of this week, but like most likely early next week. So that one I'm not concerned by. But the other two, I'm like, that is a little weird that neither of you guys have responded to me. But I'm gonna give them a like beginning of next week, and then I'll follow up with them, and then have an interview next week. But that was one that's scheduled last week. So I don't know, like it is, I do think it's a little harder this time, so I don't know if I should be worried, but at the same time I'm like, it is weird, I have to admit. But yeah, that's my update for my work. And then I think I'm going to also try to spend more time like just doing some like courses and things like that, just to like learn some new skills instead of just sitting around and reading or just applying for jobs. Because like, yeah, applying for jobs is important, but I want to like upskill myself. I don't want to like, you know, have a couple months where I am job hunting and have nothing to show for except for me job hunting. Like I want to do something outside of that. So I'm going to try to get some classes done in the meantime while I do this, and then of course like read and enjoy my life as well. But it is a nice like little break, I suppose, from the toxic workplace that I was at previously. But anyway, that's the update for now. Quick updates, I managed to finish reading A Dress Like the Wicked last night. I actually really liked it. The ending was not what I expected, like not in a bad way per se, but it kind of like left things open-ended at the end. So like I really want like an epilogue to show like how successful they were or something, just to be like, yes, they actually got what they wanted, instead of being like, vague. So that was like the only downside to the ending. I think overall I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. It was still good. I liked the, you know, like the premise, the execution, the building up to everything that happened at the end. Thought that was all great. Now I am on to Sleep Like Death over here, which I started this morning, so I really have not made much progress. I'm on page 2, so awesome progress there. I am hesitant about this book because while I really did not like Cinderella is Dead, I really did like The Poison's Kiss, which I believe is her like second series. Oh, This Poison Heart. So I really enjoyed this series. I thought that series was great. This Poison Heart, This Wicked Fate, really enjoyed that one. Cinderella is Dead, hated it. So when I saw this, I was like, oh great, this will be like something in the middle. I will either love it or hate it. Like, I guess I'll find out. But then people, like, at least this flap keeps saying that it's very reminiscent to Cinderella is Dead. So I'm kind of like, that's the one I didn't like. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I'm gonna read that. Today's Saturday. I don't know, the cats are going crazy right now. It's Saturday, so I will have time to read this. I mean, it looks pretty short, so hopefully I can finish it today. If not today, tomorrow. And then I have one more book left, which is the chunky book, which I'm a little scared of. We'll see how that goes. Another update is that I did go to the movies last night. I went to see Megalopolis. Dude, do not fucking watch that movie. That movie is the fucking weirdest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I felt I was in a fever dream, but not a good fever dream. I have no idea what they were doing. They were all over the place. There was no like clear direction of the story, and they had so many conflict, but then in the end it's like, babe, everything's like wonderful and beautiful, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, that's how it ended. Like my friends and I, we left and we're just like, are we just too stupid to understand? But we all didn't understand. I don't believe that all of us were dumb. I feel like we're all pretty smart. Like, so I was like, the fact that none of us understand or understood anything that happened was like kind of crazy. Like, I was so tempted to walk out of the movie after like an hour in. Like, that to me is insane, because that's usually like not even an hour. I think it's like half an hour, and I was like, what the fuck is this movie about? Yeah, hated it. Don't recommend it. Don't watch it. It was terrible. All right, quick little update before I head out to dinner for my date. So I am reading Cinderella Sleep Like Death, which is a Snow White retelling. I am currently on page 71, so I've made some progress. I'm not loving it per se. It's a little bit slow to start. I was kind of wondering like how everything fit in with the retelling portion of it. Obviously the main character is Snow White herself, but I was like, who's the evil stepmother? Who's the mirror? What is happening with everything? And I've just identified the mirror, the stepmother, and even the hunter. So I'm curious to see like how that will all play a role as the story progresses. There's also this knight that apparently will grant people's wishes, but will grant them in a way that always brings ruin. So you have to be very careful of how you specify what you wish for. For example, the other queen, her mom, she had a wish to get her singing voice back and was like the loveliest voice in the entire realm, whatever it is, and then she got turned into a songbird. So that's just an example. And her mother, the queen, and herself are trying to deal with this guy and trying to, like, you know, clean up whenever he has these messes of people who try to make these wishes, knowing that they're usually not a great deal, but they're desperate for whatever reason. So I don't know, I'm like not loving it, but I'm not hating it. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to continue on with this like the rest of this readathon, because I'm still reading this one and tomorrow's the last day, and I still have to read one more book, which is a chunker. I don't think I'm gonna have time to read that one, unfortunately. I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, I want to do the bookathon for next month, and I know if I pick it up right now to hope to read it or finish it, it's gonna take me like a week to read, and then I'm gonna lose that time to actually read the book I want to read for that readathon. So I'm gonna try to finish this book at least before end of tomorrow, which is the last day of the month. And then yeah, like I'm not going to try to finish that last book, which is so unfortunate because I really wanted to finish it. But I'm telling you guys, I never finish these readathons. I always try and I get pretty close and then I don't make it. So yeah, but anyways, that's my little update for now. I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. morning everybody. I am actually going to end the vlog here for Magical Readathon so I can start a new vlog soon because it is October 1st now, so I need to finish this vlog. But I did manage to almost finish Sleep Like Death. I am on page 218. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than Cinderella's Dead, like way more than I expected. I love the premise right now. I love the characters. I feel like they've grown on me throughout the pages. It definitely started off very slow and I was kind of like, what is happening? But once I think things clicked in my head in terms of like who everyone was and like the part that they play, like that's when things got really interesting. So now I'm a lot more invested in the story, the characters, like I said. Just like, I also am pretty sure there's a romance involved here between this guy and her, and I'm kind of curious to see how that will progress because it's definitely going to be a true like enemies to lovers situation. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'm rooting for the romance or not. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary, but also I feel like as a YA there's going to be romance, so it's most likely going to be this romance between those two characters. So like I said, I'm curious to see how that will continue. But that's all I'm gonna say for this video. I think overall I did a relatively decent job. I finished all the books I want to read except for one, or I mean 1.5 I guess for this one. But yeah, I think that's not too bad considering everything that I've gone through this month, like crazy. But yeah, now I'm going to start another vlog and then continue my job hunt journey. Hopefully that will continue well, and then also finish reading this book before I start really with my rest of the books. So that's it for this video. Let me know down below if you had participated in the Magical Readathon, and if you had, how did you do? But as always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up whenever I just have on my channel, and if you like to see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as hit the notification bell. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.